we're looking at the topic called factorization. And it is absolutely important that we learn how to factorize a number. We have the principle of factorization, and then you have to find the lowest common factor. Now, what is a factor? A factor is any number that can go into another number without a remainder. Let's get that. What is a factor? Any number that can go into another number that can go into another number without a remainder. Now that's going to be absolutely important here, without a remainder. If it can go into the number without a remainder, it is referred to as a factor of that number. And so, in order for me to do these activities accurately, I have to first of all learn how to divide. I have to know how to divide. I have to know my multiplication table. Now let's look at some of the questions that we had here today, because this is a worksheet that was supposed to be completed today, and most persons were not able to complete it fully. Let's see what happens here. The first number we have here is 87. And I'm supposed to find all the factors of 87. Now, how do I find the factors of any given number? First thing I have to do is to find the numbers, as I said, that can go into the number. So let's take 87. Every number can be divided by 1 and itself. So the two first factors of any number is 1 and itself. Because when I go 1 into 87, I am going to go get 87. So 1 and 87 are factors. My next step is to check this number 87 and see if this number can be divided by 2 without a remainder. Now I don't have to go any further with that because I realize that this is an odd number and no odd number can be divided by 2, and therefore 2 cannot divide 87. So next step is to check 3. Can 3 go into 87? Now let's do this division and see. 3 into 8 is going to go 2 times. 2 3s 6, and I'm left with 2. Bringing down the 7, I have 27. 3 into 27 is going to go 9 times. 3 times 9, 27. And so 29 and 3 are factors of 87. 3 and 29 will be my next two factors. So, can 4 go into 87? Don't have to go any further. Again, this is an odd number, and so it could not be divided by 4. And this number cannot be divided by 5 also, because any number that is divided by 5 must end with either a 0 or a 5, and so 87 cannot be divided by 5. It cannot be divided by 6. It cannot be divided by 7, neither by 8 nor by 9. And so I would have gotten to the end of the factors. All the factors of 87 would have been 1, 3, 29, and 87. So that would have given me all the factors of 87. The next number I had here was 65. And I'm going to follow the same basic principle, finding the factors of 65. Factors of 65, as I said, the first factor would have been 1 and 65. So I know that 1 is a factor, 65 is a factor. Now I'm going to check to see what are the other numbers that can go into 65 without a remainder. I know that 2 cannot divide 65, because when I look at the number, it's an odd number, and 65 as an odd number, 2 cannot divide the odd number. So my next question is to ask, would 3, can this number be divided by 3? And when I look at this number, I would say no, because 3 can go into 6, but there's no remainder, and 3 cannot go into 5 without a remainder. So let's check 4. 4 cannot divide this number, because 4 into 6 is going to go 1 time. I'm left with 25. 4 cannot go into 25 without a remainder. Next number is 5. And I know that 5 65 can be divided by 5. So let's see how many times 65 will be divided by 5. I'm going to divide 65 by 5. 5 into 6 is going to go 1 time. 1, 5, 5, and I'm left with 1. Bring down this 5. 5 into 15 is going to go 3 times. So the factors of 5 and 13. 13 and 5 are factors of 65. And next is to check 6. Cannot be divided by 6. Cannot be divided by 7. Cannot be divided by 8. Neither 9. And so the factors of 65 would have been 1, 5, 13, and 65. Okay. What's the next number we have? Next number was a very easy number. It is the number 6. So let's see what 6. As all the other numbers, 1 is a factor and 6 is a factor. Easily, 2 can go into 6. 2 can go into 6 3 times. So 2 is a factor and 3 is a factor. And that's it for the number 6. So the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. I'm going to take the last number. Not the last number. I'm going to take 2 more numbers. Next number here was 21. So again, 1 is a factor of 21. 21 is a factor of 21. Looking at the number, so it's an odd number. It cannot be divided by 2, but 21 can be divided by 3. And 3 to 21 is going to go 7 times. So the factors of 21 would have been 1, 3, 7, and 21. Okay, and the final number that I'm going to look at is the number 11. And 11 is known as a prime number. Now, what are prime numbers? Prime numbers are numbers that can only be divided by themselves and 1. 11 is a prime number, and so the only 2 factors of 11 would have been 1 and 11. Prime numbers, numbers with only 2 factors, 1 and 7. I'm going to ask you to go over all the other questions on this paper. Please remember that I am simply taking the number and I'm trying to find all the numbers that can divide the number without a remainder. Normally we go all the way up to 10. We would try 1. 1 is always a factor of every number, and the number itself is a factor of every number. Then we try 2. Rule here is if it's not an even number, then I know that 2 cannot divide this number. What is an even number? An even number is a number that can be divided by 2. Even number normally ends with either the number 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Then the next step is to try the number 3. And it's sometimes a little bit hard to determine what numbers 3 can go into. And so most times we have to divide to see if 3 can go into the number without a remainder. 4, any number that 2 can go into, 4 would also go into this number most times. Then we have 5. We know that numbers that can be divided by 5 must always end with either 0 or a 5. Then we have the number 7, we have 8, we have 9, and then 10. We are going to go through all of these numbers to ensure that we have the factors, because we are not just listing some of the factors, but we're supposed to be listing all of the factors. That's your homework. Thank you.